Now, the demo they did, but ours is now coming out of the ground, so they've got a drone that they fly it once a week.
Oh, okay,
Yeah, and they're gonna be putting it on the website.
good. Yeah, that's all it's fun.
Don't let me forget, I've had questions about the road.
Okay.
I don't wanna say something wrong.
I will put a note down.
Ask about the road.
So in this instance where Chip was elected the vice chair, would he just move to that chair position, even though we just elected him last meeting? Because,
Yeah, we'll let the board
Okay.
decide.
All right.
We need a few more members to get a
So-
quorum.
I know Skip's
yeah,
coming.
those are the two
So-
names. Yeah, Skip is coming. Ember said she was coming. I want to say Danny said he was coming, and Alan. Deb said she was coming.
said
And
I'm-
Alan said maybe.
Okay. Yeah, we wondered about having the futsal courts open because we don't have bathrooms over there. But, I mean, we all said, you know what, they're gonna be heavily used. We gotta figure some porta potties, or we gotta figure something out
Yeah.
over there. Cause especially since they're just now brand new, just now open.
I think
They're gonna
my
be used
nephew
packed.
comes every day from American Fork.
Wow.
He just
Wow.
got home from his mission and he's gonna play for BYU. Like they already, like he'll be on the team. And so that's what he does. He comes with friends every day. My son rode his bike he lives on campus at BYU. We don't give our kids a car. He rode his bike up to go play with his cousin.
How was the rotation of
Hey
use?
Deb.
And he
On
said
that.
they just all kind of
Oh, Jen.
wait to go. I don't know, Greg. I asked him about that. He said it was good. He had
Enjoying it?
some kids that were just playing when he was there, and he said they told us to stay on because we'd been there. But I think the kids there wanted to play those good kids.
Well,
Hey.
we actually
So-
kind of, we were trying to figure out a rotation plan,
Yeah.
like we have
The
with
rec center?
pickleball.
Yeah.
But we kind of just said, hey, let's just
See
see if
how
they
it goes.
figure it out.
I think they have.
You
So
know.
I haven't heard.
Got some
I mean, it's kind of like the skateboarders and the bikers and the rollerbladers.
Yeah.
Wanted me to set hours for them. And I said, look, I'm never gonna I can't afford an employee to go down there. You guys are just gonna have to figure it out. If
Yeah.
you can't figure it out, we'll close the park.
Yeah.
And you know what? They figured it out.
I ask
So-
him every time when Greg's had, like, through the fall when they were still, like, practicing outside. I was like, is it you? He's like, it's always there. And, like, my son one time over fall break, he was there to have practice with his team outside, but he only had, like, 4 kids. So he's like, you guys just go play. And then, like, 3 kids showed up that different high schools, and they're like, we'll play with you. And they just all played together.
I didn't know if you noticed on the playground, that's the first playground that we've put shade over on that.
I
That's
haven't been
from
to
our-
see it, but when.
From
I
our
read it.
surveys, that was the number one thing that people were asking were shade.
Did we put the whole thing, or
So-
just, we had
No,
talked about
just-
over the little
just-
kid part?
It's over certain areas, and it's still, I mean, it still added like $45,000 to the price, but it is over it, so.
It does cost.
Costs as much to make the shade as it does to build
And
the park.
it's not extensive, if you look at it and go,
That costs that much.
$45,000, but,
That's the thing that I think is always frustrating me when you figure that stuff out and then people wanna gripe. That's where I'm like, you don't even get it.
well, we're gonna talk some big dollars today on stadium seating. So, but I think we've got some good news,
2, 3, 4.
so.
I'm not sure of your name.
I'm Jen.
Um,
I'm not on the committee.
Okay.
No, Jen is our swimming parent mom,
Okay.
so since we're gonna talk stadium seating tonight, I invited Jen.
Okay.
What I would suggest is we don't need a quorum for the first, item 2 on this agenda, and so why don't we get rolling with that? And, we have Trevor with us today. Trevor is a Boy Scout. He's working on his Eagle Scout project and needs to present to an official body as part of that process, and so he is doing a Eagle Scout project down at Sleepy Ridge Golf Course, which you guys are aware of is a private public partnership with Orem City, and so they have presented Orem City with a $500 check that we will monitor the expenses related to that. But Trevor, I'm going to give you my seat and have you come up and tell us what you're going to do.
So
And you can stand up here. Well,
I have these for everyone, so.
Do you want me to just pass them?
Hold on.
Yeah, one.
You're good.
Yeah, that's good.
Awesome.
Okay. So, as he said, my name's Trevor Plewe, and I'm going to be doing my Eagle Scout project down at Sleepy Ridge. And so what my project basically is it's going to be I'm going to be building youth tees down at the golf course to help promote junior golf down there. And so what I've already done for this project is I've presented my idea to the pros there, and they've agreed with me that this is going to be a good project, and we've done my fundraiser to help fundraise for these tees that we're going to buy. And then we've decided where we're going to place these tees, and right now we're going to be in the process of buying these because it's a bit troublesome. But then and then after that I'm going to be putting these yardages on the scorecard so players can reference them. So for my fundraiser, what I did is my goal was to raise $500, and I went down to the golf course and I asked to clean clubs, and after I would do that, I would ask for any donations, and I went down there a couple times to raise this amount of money, and it was really fun, and we got to get a lot of experience from that, me and the scouts that I worked with. And then, so for the tees, we're going to be, I've already fundraised the money for them, and we're going to be putting the logo on the top, and they're going to be like these metal plates that we're going to be putting into the ground. And these are the placement that we're going to place them, the yardage away from the hole. They're based off U.S. Kids yardage recommendation, and so we're going to try to put them in the basic area of that recommendation, and we'll be placing them in the fairway on the holes, and they're going to be fairly easy to find because of where we place them. And so for the yardages, they've been based off the U.S. Kids Junior Yardages recommendation, and they're designed to show what yardages are appropriate for each age division. So, and the ones that I'm focusing on are the ones highlighted, and the ones above have their own yardages on the course from like the red tees and the white tees. And then, but the ones in here, they kind of just don't have anything. And so I'm focusing on these three, and I've put all the tee yardages inside the average range of these three. And then, so the reason I chose to do this project was because I've had a really great experience playing golf, and I've learned to work really hard for the goals that I want to earn, and I need to know what those goals are, and then I need to really work hard to get them. And I've also had a really good experience with learning how to do competition and learning what that stress level is, and also being able to have good verbal communication and working with others. And sometimes when I go out and play golf, I'll just play with random people out on the course that I don't even know that can be a lot older than me, and it's been really good to be able to talk to them and to be able to have fun while playing with someone else I don't know. And the benefits to Orem City are going to be these added features to the golf course, and this makes this part of the city really a great place for all ages to be at, and it helps junior and inexperienced golfers have a fun time playing golf. I remember when I was a kid, it was really hard for me to just drop a ball in a random place and go for the hole, because I didn't have these recommendations and I didn't know where to place it. And everybody wants to get par in a hole, and when I just placed the ball on the ground, it was really hard to do that. And I feel that with these tees, it'll be really easy to do so. And I hope that the kids who experience golf through this will be able to have a great experience playing golf now and later on, and help others bring golf to their life.
I agree. Good job.
Do you have any questions
Yeah.
for Trevor?
Are they adding Youth on the Course? Is that what it's called? Youth on the Course program?
Youth on the
at
Course.
Sleepy Ridge?
Yeah,
I think I saw you down there. And
they're going to be adding. They're hopefully. I've talked to Youth on the Course. I sent an email to them and then asked them to get it as soon as possible, so they can. These can start be using effectively with Youth on the Course. And
I think that will get more kids involved because it's
Yeah, they'll
affordable
also
to
get
go
a lot.
golf.
yeah, I do Youth on the Course, and it's really
Yeah.
fun just having those lower rates and
Yeah,
being able to just go out more often.
Yeah.
So
good.
If you're 70, can you play on the boys 6 and under?
Say
on
sure
how
if
you
it
play.
makes you
Long
happy.
diminishing return, right? You get to a certain age,
I'm ready to, that make me. Yeah.
Trevor, I got a couple of questions.
Yeah.
First of all, what's your handicap?
I think right now it's about a 16.
Everybody in this room that plays lies about their handicap. The only thing close is it's about a what?
16.
Good for you. Second question, in all your scouting experience, what was your favorite merit badge?
The golfing one. 'Cause I didn't really have to do anything for it. I just got it passed off. So,
Good for you. Good for you.
anything else?
Great job.
They did.
Good project.
Yeah, thank you.
And with all the changes locally with scouting, I am glad to see folks still chasing it.
Yeah.
So thank you.
Trevor, how old are you? You might have said that earlier.
No, I'm 13.
Good for you.
Well, I will be in touch and we'll figure out how to get those purchased.
They're in the process.
Okay, perfect.
I
So
think-
we'll need to talk with what I need to do with that money that you gave to us, whether I give that, how we do that. I'll be in touch.
I think Jamie.
Trevor.
Okay.
Talk with Jamie and John. I'm out of that. We just wrote the check, so.
Oh, well, okay, perfect. Okay, you did a great job. You did a great job.
In order. Okay, and the zip.
84097.
Okay. Hey, great job, bud. All right, well, with that, we'll turn it over to our chairman.
Hey,
You can stand this off.
If it's yours.
Rick's happy in the couch. The senior theater seat.
Are there more of these?
Right here, you can use that.
I can.
Yes.
Okay.
All right,
Just
so
remind me when we get to there.
Okay.
do we need to approve those? Did everybody look at the September 5th minutes?
There are a lot of them.
It was a big list.
Yeah, just,
Move to approve.
yeah.
Second.
Okay. All in favor?
Wait, who moved?
I did.
Russ.
Russ. Second.
Second, let's skip.
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, is that all in favor?
Aye.
We good?
I think we're good.
Carl?
All right, fitness center. If you've been over there, the building is gone. We have a construction pad built. The footings are actually in already for the locker rooms on that, and the walls are coming up on the locker rooms. It is moving along tremendously quickly. Part of the, I just left a meeting to come here with Method and Big D. They are still saying April that we will have the pools open. On that, the biggest factor that they helped us out with is we had to save one of the big chillers AV units from the top. It was 5 years old, but we could not get one of those built in time to use it by April. So we saved our 5-year-old one. They have a life of about 15 years, so it's not like it's that old. But we were able to save that. We craned that off the top. It's in storage right now, and then we'll bring it back so that we can get the place open, get the pools open in April. Now They're still telling me we're on schedule. I mean, it is screaming along on that. We just shut the outdoor pools down last week. On that was very, very popular. We are calculating what that cost us. That was an expensive thing to do, but I think it was the right thing to do. And so we're getting that building winterized. We just awarded a contract to reline the competitive pool, and so they will start demo here pretty quick, and we will have it relined to open that building May 1 if that building's not ready. And so May 1 we'll be back in the pool business one way or another on that. So yeah, things are going great. Our customers are coming here, not great, but it is increasing a little bit on that. We just did a free day. You know, we did free day 3 days last week, and we had 44 people come. We mailed out a promotional thing. We mailed out about 1,000 promotional, and I've had 7 come back. So
I'm holding on to it. I'm waiting.
So all right. So we are trying to pump that up, but things are moving right along. Everything's going good. We are. I don't have a total price of the building yet. We have 2 of the 4 bid packages out and awarded yet, but we're hanging right about $270 a square foot. Our target was try to stay under 300. So we're doing all right. It's going to cost about $28 million to build all of it. We'll have a gross maximum price toward the end of December on that. But part of this model is that it's really scary because you've torn the building down and I don't know what it's going to cost yet. So I don't know if any of you have built a house that way. I have not, but we are moving along at screaming pace on the fitness center.
Things like pulling that AV unit off the top and saving it, do we save any funds from that? Or did it cost as much to pull it down and store it as it would to rebuild it? I'm just wondering if 10 years from now we gotta replace it.
We
don't have
say,
to go ask for money and we have some set aside for it?
yeah, that's kind of the new thing. In the old building, we never had a maintenance plan. We never had put some away from the future. We just fixed it when it broke. And part of the thing we talked about today is getting that maintenance plan, getting that longevity plan for both the mechanical side of it, but also the equipment side of it, the treadmills and all that. So yes, as far as saving money, not a lot. It's $5,000 to fly it off the roof, you know. So we save a little bit of money, but the biggest.
And how much was a new one? And how much would a new one have been?
They're about 20. So
5 and 20.
so you save a little bit, but
Over 10 years,
Over
that's
10
not
years.
much.
the biggest thing was we couldn't have opened without it.
Yeah.
Right.
And so, I mean, it was the get the building opened. It wasn't a dollar decision.
Well, if they put together a maintenance plan and the city council buys off on it, then you don't have to go back periodically for each improvement thing that needs to happen if it's
Right.
in that budget, right?
That's the plan.
That'd be huge.
That's the
Which we
plan.
have put a ton of care tax money into the rec center.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah,
And
it would
and
be
it
nice
should
to
be.
put it somewhere besides.
And I'm hoping that is
Budget
not
stuff
care.
of the
I mean,
rec center.
the way
Yeah.
we've used care is that it's things we can put our hands on and see.
Right.
And so I'm hoping
We've
the
done a
general
lot
fund
with-
supports that, and we continue this with cool things.
Yeah, for sure.
So is the goal with that. So when we meet next, I will bring the final plans for that, and we'll bring a 3D model that you can walk through the fitness center, and go with that. It's been a journey. I mean, the decision between floor-mounted and wall-mounted toilets was a major day. Where to put, you wouldn't think that would be a hard
Floor-mounted
decision,
is
but it
way
really
less
is.
expensive, isn't it?
You know, the decision on where the power plugs are going, where the data ports are, all of those have to happen now, because all of those have underground conduits. So it is a fast-paced time right now.
Question about that. When we build large buildings at work, We often will spend just a little bit extra to make sure there's some flexibility in all that conduit place, because just as soon as you get things sorted out,
Right.
there'll be a change, and I hope that we've thought through the flexibility, especially at such a long-term building that we can't even envision how it might be used
One of the-
10 years from now.
One of the benefits we've had on this progress is our IT guy is the one who helped design Provo's. And so everywhere that they went this big, he's telling us to go that big. And so, yeah, as far as the actual lines being run, the conduit is, I think, supersized. But that's pretty inexpensive at this point to do that. But his name's Steve Cannon. He worked on the Provo Fitness one. And he's like, you know what, when I left, I was paying $400 to do something I could have done for $40 at the front end.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we've supersized a lot of that, stuff
It's good to hear.
on that. You know, you hope you're getting it right, you know, you just hope. But things are moving quickly. At the fitness center, I will have tremendously more information next week, our next meeting on that. We were talking earlier about futsal. If you haven't been over to Geneva Park, a lot of people don't know where Geneva Park is. We did a survey, and then Geneva neighborhood didn't know where Geneva Park was. But
Kind of have to wind
Make it
through
impact.
neighborhoods to find it.
it is one of our Title I schools, so we were able to use CDBG funds. It's also one of our most Hispanic neighborhoods. So we took out a tennis court that has not been functioning for a long, long time, and partnered with Real Soccer, IHC Hospital, Utah County, and some care money that we had collected from other things. Some of our other projects, we didn't spend them all. We had about $120,000 that we'd collected from those other projects and put it on there. But we've now got 2 futsal courts that we built over there. They are being heavily used.
It's
On
8
that.
o'clock and 30 degrees, and there's lines waiting to play.
And then we added a playground. On our surveying, the thing that our citizens wanted most on our playgrounds was shade. So this is the first one that we've added shade to. This spring, the bathrooms will be upgraded and the parking lot will be upgraded. So it's about $1 million project. I think about 120 of it were care, but about 300 of it were donations, and the rest is general fund. But that park will have a huge upgrade on that. Bonneville Park,
Their pickleball courts are up.
pickleball courts are open. We took they had 2 tennis courts. We expanded it just a little bit. We've now got 1 tennis court and 4 pickleball courts up there. And they upgraded when we did that playground, there was a kind of a cry that we didn't put enough 0 to 3 features in there. So we added some 0 to 3 features. They're adding some shade to that one also, and the pickleball courts are now open. So it's a great.
It looks really nice.
It's a great looking
I drive
project.
past that to get to my mom's all the time. It looks really,
That's
it's a nice
Bonneville?
court. Yeah,
By Bonneville Elementary.
yes.
And then we upgraded the playground at Windsor. We're upgrading the track, the walking path at Windsor, and then we have upgraded and added infields. Infields on ball fields are incredibly expensive, but we upgraded those 2 infields, upgraded the irrigation in those. A few years ago, we added we got a grant to add the home run fences, so there are permanent home run fences there.
That was
So-
a nice addition to that park out there.
Yeah, it really looks nice. It really looks good. And then we
Separated
added,
all the kids playing frisbee and golf out there from the kids that are playing baseball and softball.
right. No, I think it looks good. It looks great.
I have a hard time some of the walking paths because they're like, we're trying to make them look interesting. But when you want to use the space on the inside, it's like one little cut makes your limited field use. Because we wanted to have this pretty.
The artistic, natural
Yeah,
design.
where you just have, now you have this space over in the corner that's completely useless of grass that you're just cutting because we made this jog. If we make those a little more efficient,
I can
then
think
you
about-
have
Yeah,
usable space inside it to stick
something.
another type of field inside those space that sometimes I mean,
Sometimes
it's that,
sometimes we plant a tree right in the middle of spaces
and
too.
you're like, hello?
One over Windsor's pretty efficient though.
Is it? I haven't
Yeah,
actually
we
seen
do
that. I'm
have-
thinking
yeah,
of the
we
one
have an
Big
around.
walk around that big open space.
We have an
between
open
the
space at
elementary and junior
Windsor.
high.
Well,
But
over
there-
at IHC, it's like we cut off an entire corner of one thing, you're like, this gets used for nothing.
If we could have done that.
But if you come out like that, now this is wide enough to play a few other things in there.
When you said IHC, is that Geneva Park you're talking about?
No, 60
No, the hospital. No, I'm saying
The walking path at the hospital.
at
Oh, yeah.
Orem Community Hospital.
And Orem City partnered with them on that.
on that walking path.
All right, well, our projector is not working, so this is not gonna be as dramatic as I had hoped, but we're gonna talk stadium seating at the pool. Now, this is Plan C. We did Plan A. Plan C came out at about 750,000. We did Plan B, and Plan B just didn't look great. Wasn't gonna be functional. And so this is Plan C. So I'll walk around, but this is the view from the south on that.
From the south of the building.
From the south of the building, looking to the north, it's tip-up concrete.
So that's next to the current pool's already up. It's on the outside
Yes,
of
the
it.
current pool is the rust.
Okay.
The new right here is the seating we're
Is it tall,
proposing.
is it tall enough?
They're saying it is.
How tall is it?
I think I'll be able to see in here on a.
It's not that
on
big.
Isn't
another-
it ground
Is it
level
bigger than
and then
that?
sloped up, rather than trying to be
The
balcony?
landscaping
Was
is
I
sloped.
looking
I
at
think
right
it'll
then?
be right here.
Over on this side.
No, I mean inside, like
Yeah,
bleachers
that's
inside,
just-
Yes,
that's
it's stadium
the-
seating
whatever
inside.
thing, yeah.
but it comes all the
would
way
be on
down
the
to the
south
pool
side.
level?
Yeah.
Right?
Oh, this is,
Is this the pool?
Yeah,
Is there
because that's
access
the
to
main
it
pool.
without
That's the
having
little
it
kid
Yeah.
pool
through the
thing.
pool?
Be
Yes.
right there.
Yes. Yep. So if you look at it, this feature right here where the people are standing is an outside entrance that goes in on it.
Is that for pool only or the whole rec center?
It'll just be pool only, but what it allows is that swim meets don't have to come into the pool.
that's good.
Into the
building.
rec center.
So it isolates, so
actually
that's a little
brilliant.
bit, they have tried to match it to the rest of the building with the tip-up concrete on that, so that I think it looks quite attractive.
How
So-
much
More
so-
seating?
modern?
Yeah, Carl, is that door just gonna be used then for swim meets, or is it gonna be used all the time?
Anytime we have an event at the pool,
Okay.
but you won't,
But normal pool
practice is
use would still come through the main?
not day to
Okay,
day.
Okay.
Because there is starting to be some concern of
No, I think
school
we'll bring-
residents about that road being open all the time and that being a main entrance to the pool. I
Well, they
mean,
may
the rec
wanna-
center.
But they may want to consider using that for their club team drop off because then it will limit traffic and.
I think
stuff.
practices we probably will.
So the day to day, I mean, that's every day, but I think that's a good idea.
But not, somebody can't come, somebody non-swimmer
Can't
wouldn't
go
come
in
through
there.
this entrance.
How many seats?
It has 250.
You've been a
That's,
big proponent of this for a long time. Is that enough?
that's the seating we had in the other one.
So that matches what you, the existing.
That matches what we have in the other one. So that's what it'll look from the other.
But is it enough?
Well, I can't afford this, so.
And Alan, to your point, that's a good question, but when we have meets currently, we don't always use all of that space, so I think it's adequate, not ideal, but adequate.
The old space
This is,
will be eliminated?
it's gone.
Yes, it's gone.
This is 250 pretty good seats, where the other one we had like 100 good seats.
Yeah, and I think for meets, it will be tricky, it won't be enough for meets, so there will have to be a contingency plan for meets, somewhere to put people, but for the day-to-day, most of the time use, that would be fine.
And so this is what it will look like on the inside. When we talked last, we were going to elevate, come up about 30 inches and then run the seats from there. What that gave us was 6 rows. It also, what it did is it added 900 square feet because I had to do a handicap ramp, which added $200,000 to the price. So by giving us 8 seats, 8 rows, we still have 6 good ones. The 2 bottom ones are gonna be pretty bad seats,
But they're handicap accessible.
but they're handicap accessible and it saved $200,000 in the price.
So then
Concrete is
they'll
expensive.
have to move the diving board location on that pool?
Uh-uh.
Is
No.
that still further to the?
It's,
Is that located at the end?
yeah, it's
The end of the
low,
pool?
yep, on the south end of it. So that's kind of
Yeah.
a little bit different view
Only 15 meters in the calendar.
from that, and the opening,
So Carl, if that bottom row is
There's
gonna
nobody
be
wanting to get.
at least in part geared for handicap access, do they have slots in the seating?
this model does not show it, but we
But it
do.
will, okay,
Yeah, it
cool.
will.
Okay, cool.
It will, and so with it's got a little bit of storage in there, that
Day-to-day
colored in section.
stroller.
That we'll be able to get
Day-to-day stroller part.
get the lines off, the lane lines off of the deck. And in there, it is not large by any means.
But that's the
Um,
most that you could accommodate.
The price for this is gonna come in probably just under $500,000 is where I've got 360,000 budgeted right now. So I'll be on bended knee, but, the other one was just not good. We think this is probably as basic as we can go. I'm still gonna be about $150,000 short
Best bang for our buck.
on this. And it actually they have not done the engineering to see, we might actually have to have 2 pillars on that to do that span. But, they may be able to engineer that so it's like a 4-foot beam that goes above it. But, and that way we could get away with 1. But, as far as pricing, I think it looks pretty good
Yeah,
for what.
I think it looks great.
better than what we had before.
I just wish you could make it bigger.
Maybe. And I agree a little bit with that. When we talked about it at that meeting, you said that we were going for the same seating as Provo, but that looks significantly smaller than Provo.
I think Provo still seats about 250. Is what I thought.
Okay, so let me ask you about that then. As we lose those first 2 rows, as you said, because they are at ground level, then how much does that reduce our seating?
It's gonna take a couple, or
And
take about 50
I am
of them.
concerned about that because the whole point of the gallery is to spectate at meets, and you're gonna have, that is a walkway that you will never have just nobody standing there.
Right.
So you lose, at the height of a person, you're gonna lose however many rows that takes, you're gonna lose that. So efficiency wise, I do have concerns about that.
Right. I'm willing to go to bat for about 150 grand.
Okay.
If you wanna go to
You wanna
bat
find
for,
another?
you wanna
I know,
go
I
to
would
bat
love
for
to.
another 100 grand, Jamie and Bren would be who you'd talk to
Okay.
on that.
So that, the difference is 150?
Well, that's me with my finger in the air.
So, Carl, so you're talking, if you take the seating right now, since you're losing the 2 bottom rows, that means you're gonna go higher outside and bring the stadium seating that way?
We went 8 rows.
But she's talking about adding more.
We would have to go we'd have to go longer and higher on
10 or
that.
12 rows.
So like
Yeah.
in Provo, if you look at theirs, they don't even start their seating until, 6 feet, 4 or 5 feet up, they have
Yeah,
stairs.
it's like
in front
4
of it.
feet
People
up.
can stand in front.
So then people
Yeah.
can walk in front, because when you have a meet, like that deck space is gold, especially that deck space.
So we do
is
know
gonna be-
that's
they cannot-
200,000.
They cannot even get to the blocks without walking by that deck space.
Well,
Can
the-
they
There
cut
will
a
be
chunk
people.
of concrete out just for the handicap there on the
The-
bottom of it?
The additional, now the more expensive one still only had 250 seats.
But you could use all the 250.
But they were all good.
And what was
And
that price difference?
That's another
about
200,000.
750,000.
Are these bleachers that are stationary
So
or
it's
they
not-
slide
so
in and?
They're stationary.
Oh, they,
Can they
they're
just cut it
concrete?
out a little bit, like make the forms
So
this
you
way?
gotta come up 400
And
grand.
put
Yeah.
on the ends, like handicap on the same level? I think
We-
they
we
should
have
be able
to-
to.
We have to have handicap on the deck level. on that.
So Carl, just to be clear, you brought up the 150,000 mark. That's 150,000 you're willing to ask for to get us to that.
To this.
That. If we want beyond that, there's another 250,000, give or
200.
take.
Could be 50 to 100,000 additional on that
Wait, you said.
that somebody else will need to make the ask.
Didn't you say that plan was $750,000 price
Well,
tag?
that's an upper one, but what that does is it's 900 square feet more because we didn't go up. I don't have a price if we go ground level and just go back 3 more feet and up 2 more feet. I don't have a price for that.
But that's not optimal because you want people to stand in front, correct?
Well, people will stand in front.
People will stand in front,
So my concern
but
is if we build something where like half of it's not usable, then we've just spent money on something that isn't able to be used, and that space will have people
So do we
all
have
the
a
time.
price of starting
I don't have that to where we would
6 foot
go.
level and-
Well,
Yes.
yes, I did.
That's the 750.
And the problem with-
functionality, though, of that front row may actually be very helpful for the swim teams and coaches.
So it depends on what you're wanting to use it
If
for,
you're saying, look, this is where the swim team and coaches can sit.
right?
So
But
they're-
then you have
they're-
no place for your people to watch. So you have
What
to.
do you mean, your people to watch are
The meat.
the
No,
6
he's
rows
referring
behind
to the
you.
area in front.
Right, but I
where
think we're
coaches
gonna
can
need
sit.
all of that space for the people to watch. When you have the high school meets or when you have the club meets, that space is all used.
To accommodate all of the
To
spectators.
accommodate
Yeah.
spectators.
To-
You mean to accommodate the student athletes that want to stand right there to watch?
To accommodate the parents.
They're in the
And
seats.
the grandparents.
They're in the seats,
Right, but I think we'll need all of the seats to accommodate them,
all 250.
depending on the meet.
He
Yeah.
said, Carl said you'd lose 50, taking those 2.
Yeah, I mean, if you take those first 2 rows, it's 25% of what you're losing.
So
You
how-
know,
So
So
you
how do we
gotta,
gain 50 on top? Can you
Yeah.
get 50 on
you
top?
gotta add
We-
2 rows on top.
we can add 2 rows on top. We just need to go deeper and bigger and higher.
And that's,
And
So
I
the
don't
cal-
have
so-
a price
So the
tag for
calculation
that.
becomes then, is 50 more seats worth 100 or 150 grand more?
Whatever that dollar value is.
Yeah.
The going up, the adding the 900 square feet to get the ramp, I don't think's a great idea. The going at level and having bad seats, now going higher, I mean, the price tag might not be that much, but we can,
If the ramp's not there, where will the ramp be, because it's required?
It's just
Well, the
'cause
ramp
it's
you want-
ground
'cause
level.
you would meet the handicap
you would just come
need.
in ground
Oh,
level.
ground level.
Because it's ground
So we don't
level.
need the over-
And
And
why-
I agree
why
with
does
you.
that
Don't
have to
spend the
be-
money on a ramp if we can
Why do you have to have a
accommodate,
ramp on the deck? Can't you just like make
access
some
on the ground.
accommodation?
Yeah, but
On the
that's
It's only
but
because the
that's-
seating would start too high.
basically what it
So
is.
to get
is
up there,
the,
you have to have a ramp to
the
get
other,
to it.
the other model was 900 square feet more in the lobby area to add the ramp. And so that's 900 times 300.
Well, couldn't you actually design in the
Handicap
ADH,
area.
or the ADA accessible seats and still have it elevated and just say, look, in front of the elevated wall is where the ADA.
But every
seats
jog in a concrete costs you.
without having
money
to put a ramp.
But
You
it's
just
not
say, look,
200,000 to add a
and that-
ramp, because their ramp is way more
That's essentially
expensive.
what you've done.
That's essentially what we've done, and we've got instead of having it come up, we just added extra rows. And so I mean, I think the most
I
cost
think that's
effective,
the most
most
cost
cost
I think
effective,
it looks nice.
most cost effective way to get more seating is
But
to
just go higher.
is to go 3 feet back and whatever distance high.
So
But what I
you're gonna get
advise-
that quote then?
I can pass that on, but I can tell you right now,
You're done asking
coming
for
from
money.
me, it
I
won't.
understand.
It won't fly coming from me.
It'd be
It will
from
take
me.
other folks.
That's fine.
Is there an appropriate vestibule coming in that door? There's nothing worse than the outside air coming blowing.
It is double doored.
And where is the door on the?
South
Is-
side. Southwest.
Okay, so this is the southwest corner.
Mhm.
I have concerns about the location.
I can't go on the other side.
Well, you're right there. Then you're I know,
I
but let
can't-
me tell you why it's a problem. Because all your blocks are right here on high school meets,
Mm-hmm.
your athletes are coming all the way over here. Your starters right here, your referees right here, and swim meets. They don't even let people walk over there. Whenever we host meets, we do not let anyone walk over there because that's where the meet starts, and that's the only place they can stand because there's water on the other side.
And the other side is drains, it's mechanical.
So if
I can't move it.
So during swim meets, what I'm saying then is you'd have to close those doors and have them come the other way to swim meets.
What if you, where the pillar is? What if you put the doors right behind the pillar? and
Anytime you split that, it's gonna, this is the cheapest way to do it.
And I don't mind the doors there for the practice daily thing, but if you're planning to use them for meets, it's not gonna fly. Because you literally, you physically do not have the room to run a swim meet and have everyone entering through those doors while the meet's going on.
And cold air right on
And
the
cold air, I mean,
starters.
that's the lesser of the two problems,
Yeah.
but that's a problem as well.
Well, I'll tell you what.
There to get to the seats. I mean, there's no difference.
Can you make the doors just, instead of open right to where the water is, have them open right to where the benches are? And even if you had to lose 6 seats, allow the doors to come in directly
Just
to
come
the
in that way?
bleachers. So
You're
that
facing what?
you
Coming in
face
west?
the bleacher.
So you would face east.
You would, yeah,
And then
you'd come in from
So
the
how would
west,
you do that?
face
I'm
east.
not seeing.
It would
that.
be over here, but
we
it'd be
would
closer
lose-
to the
We would
blocks,
lose a
right?
pretty good chunk of seats.
Well, and
Would you
the
have to
other
push
problem
it
is there's,
back
there's
further?
blocks on both sides. So when you're running long course meets, there's blocks right in front of those bleachers. And when you're running short course meets, which is most of them, they're on the southwest side.
West.
It would
The
just-
west side.
The west side.
Anyway, it would take the wind.
You're saying you can't go here. Can you switch the storage area side and slide it?
I can't go over that, on that side. That side I have roof drains, that
Can't
side,
go more east.
that side I can't, I didn't want the door on the west.
Can you make the door go, like do a little walking path and have the door be on the west, like the far, like the west, northwest side?
On the west wall.
On the west side.
On the
Wow.
northwest side, or like the west side, but the north end of it.
By the garage
All the
doors?
way up the-
Aren't there already
Between the
garages?
garage
saying
doors, it
on-
would have to be
it would
between the
be-
garage
Why-
doors.
how
Yeah, it
would
would
that
have to be
help?
the corner and
So
the
you
other.
Because
make
then
them
they
walk all the way
could,
around
you
the
would make
pool?
them walk all the way around, but then your time, your
You'd
starters and
preserve-
your,
you'd preserve
like,
your
like in a
swim.
swimming, you just can't go during that area, like.
So, but
no
is that
swim.
just gonna make that driving congestion, everyone stopped?
Well, if you could get to it from the other
Here.
side.
No,
could
they would just
around.
walk
Either
walk
way.
the west side of the building and enter.
I love the idea
The
of an
west
outside
side's over
entrance, I think
here.
it's fantastic. It
No,
just
this
has
is
to be done
what-
right.
Well, I'm gonna
So
let
west
you
side
argue
of the
that,
building.
Okay.
okay? Cause I've,
This is
They
the
I've
would
west
just
side.
park
spent all
over
my
here.
tips.
Okay.
The
That's
doors.
not a parking lot.
I've
Parking
spent,
lot's
I've,
down here
I've
and the
saved
parking lot's out here.
$300,000
Okay,
and
let's-
I'm about
this
where
is north.
I've gotta be.
Yeah.
So they would drop off here instead of the.
I'm saying, so if you put a door over here, everybody's gonna stop in this little road right here.
But there's not a road there, is there?
Yes,
There
there's
is
gonna be a
now.
road there.
Yeah.
That's gonna have all the high school kids here, that's like
This is
right
the high
next to the
school's right
school.
here,
This
this
is
is
the high
Mountain View.
school.
Mm-hmm.
So you're
How
gonna
far
have
does this road
everybody
go?
Goes all the way
stopping.
through.
Oh, it goes all the way through now?
You're gonna
It
have
will.
everybody
It
just
will.
stopping here to drop off kids. Parents are not gonna drop off kids when they have to walk to a door over here.
You're
They're
right.
all gonna stop
You're
right
totally
there.
But where's the door
build a
now?
drop-off
Here?
Yeah.
Where's
So-
the door on this
Or a little drop off.
right now?
Build a drop.
The, oh,
Well, I'm just saying, you're
with
gonna have some.
this,
Yeah.
I already know it, cause it
So
started on
keep the
Facebook of
doors
people
where
on
they are,
the
and just have
school
people walk through
being
to
mad
get to the
that-
venue.
okay,
Where's
this,
that extra
this,
door?
this will be the door into the main. This is the mechanical room. And this door, right here, is that door.
Yeah.
And for practice, that is awesome, but for meets, it's just the location is not feasible. So for meets, can they just send them like they've been doing, just send them through the front doors and have them go to the pool like always?
Well, wasn't that the point of the door? Take out the door.
Like, I don't love
Take
that,
out-
but I don't,
Take
like,
out
you
what door?
can't
This
have.
door?
Just take that door out.
When are the meets?
Isn't the point of the
Are
meets that they all
during
go
the
straight
time
through
that the
That's what we're
there?
hoping.
Facility is open? Are meets during the time the facility is
Yeah.
open?
Yes.
Then what's the big deal?
It just,
It's just
well,
congestion.
It's a lot better
it is
than that.
dominated and basically shuts the entire fitness center down. It's been the big deal.
But there's only a couple in that category, really.
I was gonna say, how many meets?
You mean a couple events?
You're not talking about
Well-
an ongoing, consistent, happening so often that it becomes.
I mean, the big meets are probably 2, and the smaller high school meets are 8 or 9, something like that in a year.
Right, but even the high school meets aren't, they don't shut it down, you don't get
Yeah.
that many people.
Yeah.
And maybe the swimmers
It's not
could
shut down,
come
it's just congested.
through there until.
And
A
on the
certain
big
time
day,
before
on the
the
big
meet.
days, I mean, we were hoping to do here, but on the big days, it's gonna overflow the place too.
If you
like-
take out the door, can you
I am
lengthen that?
I am
Oh,
more
yeah.
than willing to go
Take out
beg
the
for
door
about
and lengthen the
150,000, but anything above that is gonna have to be somebody else on that.
I'll pay your
And we don't have a final price for this, on this yet. I should have that in about a week, but my feeling is it's gonna be
I
right
think
in that
if
range.
you go here, you're gonna have issues with that road and high school
What if-
students,
what
and
if-
everyone's
and you'll
just
have
gonna
all the high
stop
school
their
parents
car.
complaining about that.
Yes, you
What if you
are.
put the door right on, so you come in underneath the bleachers?
All of that,
That's just a lot
yeah.
more engineering.
I mean, the whole,
More
one of
concrete
the,
up.
one of the ways that we save money is that those are foam filled under there.
Oh,
And that's
so
a
it's-
way to save
so it's-
money.
It's really,
Yeah, it just gets expensive.
it's not. it's
I mean,
not-
I'm
It's not
pretty
an open building, it's not open space underneath the
Right.
bleacher.
It's
No,
just cement.
no, we're filling it with dirt and foam.
Right.
What if you
I'm
make
pretty confident in saying this is the least expensive way to do it.
Yeah.
Anything else will add cost to it.
Can you come out a little bit further?
To the south, yeah, we could.
I mean, with the vestibule, make
Yes.
it a little bit bigger.
We
so
could
that
go
there's-
to-
There's places for people to congregate a little bit before they enter into the pool area. Just,
We could make the vestibule bigger.
so there's distance from the cold air door to the pool
I
area.
think it's a pretty good size. It doesn't look,
It's not too
Um,
I don't know if that
doors
helps.
hitting.
I don't know
you know
if that
what,
helps.
it's not enormous. It's 10 by 9.
It's where they're located that's hard.
The door isn't the problem.
Yeah, the door is not the problem, it's where it's located. Because that's like the hub of all of the meat right there.
And you can't even lose
I
3
can't-
feet
I
of
can't-
walking
no,
to go around the
no.
corner.
Yeah, I wouldn't.
So a question, Jen, is it possible to flip to the opposite side and have the blocks and all of the setup at the
I don't
opposite
think
end?
so.
It's not.
There's not space.
It has to be.
This is the only place, this is the place we could put it. The west side didn't work.
If it's connected, then
Can can I ask you a question?
Uh-huh.
And this may sound callous, I don't mean it this
So
way.
they put it on this.
No,
We're
I'm not-
talking about $100, potentially $1,000 more for
Are
2
we gonna
events a
have one
year.
on this side?
Yeah,
Well,
Is that what-
maybe 10 events.
that's the big one.
No,
No,
the-
there's
Yes,
the-
the main
events that would
entrance is
need
over.
this kind of
Right
expansion.
here.
Right, so there's.
No, all of the meats
Most-
need.
But it's still, but
This
the
doesn't
total
use
meets is probably,
20?
20?
25?
Okay, because in the past, all you did.
Well, I thought what was said was earlier is all this extra stuff was only needed for 2.
no,
events.
we'll use it for all
No,
of
no,
them.
no, they're saying that it's gonna
It's a kind of
shut
nice
down the facility
There are
twice a
2 that
year.
will pretty well shut down the facility.
But everyone wants that here.
But the meats,
So that
250
And it's
is
alright.
barely enough.
You get people plenty
legally-
enough.
Yeah,
City
that's fine.
And they can plan for
Totally.
it.
Swap
Yeah.
land.
And that's fine.
I've never heard.
Well, and the other idea, you
And
could
it has
just make
to
this more
just-
simple,
so
use
they're
it
saying
for the
it's
day-to-day
like
practice.
And this is the.
And then-
Yeah, I think
bleachers
that-
are
that
here.
works, that.
You have the setup
Like
all
if
here.
somebody
Is it
wanted
possible?
to
Maybe
park
extend the seating a little bit
No,
if
it's
you
not.
can make
That's
that
the
door
mechanical
area
stuff.
smaller.
If you were
That
driving,
entrance.
it'll be good for the high school to be connected.
And that was
Make it
Carl
They're all
was
touch,
like-
they're all
1
touch
foot.
sensitive.
They're all-
Sections
No,
can be used
Carl,
so
why
long.
can't we move
Yeah,
the blocks to
second
the
be
west,
used
to the
over
to
there.
the east side?
Um,
the mechanical.
I have underground power, and I wouldn't be able to line them up.
Now, to be able to.
Install
parked
them
here,
on
now
the
I'm
east
gonna
side
take somebody
of the
over
pool.
here.
And
Where
with that with traffic, that's.
I drive
Yeah.
down this road,
So
'cause
the-
I live over here.
Yeah, the blocks are,
Taking you to the
the
gym,
blocks are
and
in the
they're
best
like,
place,
"Oh,
and this is,
picked up
thank
the
you.
funds."
The blocks are in the best place. It is not the best place for
I don't
50-meter
know, people are
meets,
worried
because
a
it puts
little
them
bit
right behind
about-
the stop.
The traffic
That's
there.
a
I
really
would be
terrible
if-
place for
if
50.
they
Like I
had
say,
that would-
I have,
just the 2 lanes.
I'm gonna spend what chips
They're all
I
gonna
have
stop.
on this building other places.
Drop off.
I used to
And
go
so-
past the traffic
So this is
behind.
really what I'm bringing for you. It's gonna
I
be
probably wanna do the same
450,
'Cause they'll-
somewhere right there.
This is city property. Everybody's complaining.
If somebody
They
else
should
wants
just
to
want
spend
city
chips
property,
to
if not, school
do
property.
better,
Okay.
be my guest, but I'm gonna spend my chips another place.
Can I ask a question related to that, Carl?
Mhm.
Because I think it would be important, especially for you if you're gonna go ask for more funds. What percentage success do you think you'll have with the city council asking for the 150 just to get to that plan over what's been budgeted?
I'm pretty
Because-
sure I can get that.
Okay.
Yeah,
Because if you're
I,
gonna say, I got a 60% chance of getting it, then we gotta go back and say, okay, well, if you don't get it, how much is 360 gonna get us there?
yeah.
You know, and that becomes a real
Well,
sobering
the,
discussion.
the talk is, the talk is if that's what we could buy, we're better not to do anything,
Yeah.
is really where we're at. And
Well,
so,
that's not good.
and so this was where everybody said, okay, this looks good. It looks like it's worth
adequate.
that money. It's adequate. If it's not right, somebody else is gonna have to convince
So
me.
here's
I
my
know what you
question.
do. You put an extra door at the top of the bleachers, and you landscape.
You climb the wall on a ladder and you come in through a roof hatch?
And then swing down with the rope.
No, 88,
And if you miss,
88
you
people
land-
can come in the other way. The pool
Is
kids
this
can all
taking
come
money
the other
away
way.
from police and firemen?
I'm just
or
saying, open up one of those
pay raise?
windows.
Well,
Turn it
the,
into a door.
the-
Let people come in.
I mean,
Don't ask
the
these
best
people.
solution, at least what I see, the best solution to add more is to go whatever that distance is south and whatever that distance is up.
If
'Cause
you don't
just
have that
moves
door, can you
I agree.
just go?
Extend it out west more, the bleachers.
I don't know
Just
what
make it
cost
longer.
is better.
Yeah,
Is up more expensive than?
well, it's gonna be cheaper to go out and up because I'm already pouring this.
Right.
That's a tip-up
Oh.
concrete. And so it's not
Like I'm
like,
saying, do one more section of that versus, oh, so you're
So I
saying
would
it's less
cut-
to just
I
go
would come back and then make that wall
that much
4
higher?
feet higher, so
So it
that
should
that
be less
corner
to just
space just
go-
goes up and you can add 2 more rows.
Okay.
That's the least expensive way, and I don't have a price for that.
I think that would definitely be worth looking into, because especially if we're gonna put the swim, like you said, it would be good use for swim teams, just to put their stuff right on those first couple rows, but then you lose spectator seating, and that's an issue. My biggest question is, I really wish the architects would have sat down with us in the swim community, because we know these things, and we could have saved them a lot of headaches, saying, look, this is why this is a problem, you could do this, you can't do this.
You know why they didn't?
Why?
Because the price tag always grows.
Maybe.
And so.
But I
and
would
that's-
rather have it be right than have us spend all this money for something that we think, well, we can't even use that door. Why
Well,
do we
the
even
pool,
put it
the
in?
pool's there already. All we're doing is trying to find some
Yeah,
seats.
it's not like you've designed it this way.
And so-
It is what it is.
What I'm telling you is I think I can pay for this.
You want more?
Anything above
Somebody's
this has
gotta
gotta come
donate
from
something.
somebody else. Okay? I mean,
So
I'm
if you
just being
can-
flat honest with you.
If you can look at adding those 2 extra rows, I think that would, or however many extra rows you can get by going
Right.
up, I think that would be a great.
I will call the architect and see how we do that.
And then address the door issue, because like you just can't have people walking through it during meet. So either you don't have it, or you have another plan, because you can't.
Or
Well,
you
well,
simplify
it-
that door and make
wouldn't
it a entrance where the swimmers can come in for practice and whatnot, but you don't have
But
the
you close
Yeah,
it
community
I was gonna say,
come
the
in.
compromise would be, it really is an event door for the athletes. So they come in before and after, and everybody else goes to the main door.
Yeah, it's closed at a
During
certain
meet.
time before the meet,
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
done.
It kind of doesn't. that
I mean, the
doesn't
goal
really
wa-
work that
the
way.
goal-
There's people coming and
The
going
goal
all
is
the
to
time.
get all the
The goal was
swim
to
meet
get the meet
people out of the
traffic
rec center.
on the pool and into the men's and women's locker room. And then the rest of the building could function on its own.
It's, the
on
rec
that.
center
And so-
patrons aren't
And the
impeded
late,
with
the
swimming.
latecomers or early leavers leave through the main entrance instead of disrupting the meet through those doors.
Yeah, there's no way we could stop anybody from coming or going inside. We just hope to put the main part of the activity in there. So, I'll be flat honest with you. I'm willing to go negotiate for this, but anything bigger isn't gonna be.
Are there HVAC needs with this that would be different than if it wasn't there?
Yes,
And they'll accommodate those.
yes,
That's built into the numbers you're working
Yeah.
on, okay.
Do they
yeah.
have fans or anything?
Yes, they're not shown in this, but in our conversations, there will be fans to move it in that. But the HVAC, if you've ever been in our building, our locker rooms were wind tunnels.
Yeah, they were.
I mean, I mean, it was like a 3-hour discussion yesterday on, okay, what doors have to stay open, what doors have to close, is there pressure enough? Because some of our doors were sucked so tight, our seniors couldn't get them open. And so, yeah, that was the whole, where do we put a grate?
No
Where
wonder I
do,
couldn't get in there.
where do we put that? But that was
doors were
about
just
a
locked.
3-hour discussion yesterday on what doors have to be shut, what doors will be open, so that the mechanical engineer could adjust the HVAC and the fans on the top of the existing pool.
Oh,
But
I think.
Are the only walls up right now, or that
Do I have
survived
this
the
paper? I just
demolition,
keep taking them.
the pool wall?
There's just that.
So those steps that never got used,
Like on
remember
the
we
west
used to have
side.
steps that went up to the office level?
This is
Right
gone.
on the south
All
side?
of this
On
is
the
always-
exterior, you're talking.
On the exterior?
they're gone.
All that's,
They're gone. The only thing that stayed was the pool, all of the leisure pool, including the mechanical. Now, if you go there, there's a chiller on the top of the mechanical, and then the
No, he was
room,
saying
the pump
all
room
the
that no one
drains
ever
and
saw but us.
Like you can't.
And then they're actually putting in
Probably
another
all
pump
in the wall.
room,
Probably all in the
another
wall.
boiler room.
And you can't open the wall.
In the old facility, you had the pump room here and the boiler room here. Now we're gonna have the boiler room here and the pump room here on that. And so, yeah, that's
Is
part of
this
the
room
reasons why.
up right now or is this down? Your existing pool equipment stuff, is
This
that
is,
up?
it is still there, that
That's
right
up
there.
right there.
Yep.
Okay.
that right there.
I was trying to
So
remember.
Karl,
what
and all
I've
this
seen.
room and shifting and moving, or even under the stairs, could they carve out a little closet for the high school swim team?
I have a little bit of storage, but not much.
So where are they gonna put all this stuff on the deck then?
All the stuff is gonna get wheeled into this little open area.
Well, that's the
lane lines.
lines are, but what about the sheds and stuff?
That'll go in this stuff.
It'll fit there?
Yeah.
You feel like?
Yeah, that'll fit there. But like, I mean, anything over and above what's on that deck now, what's on the deck will fit in there.
So that there's not like a little closet somewhere, 3 by 3 even.
There's
just
no new,
small.
nothing's happening in the pools on that. I mean,
Is there a corner in the locker room we could put an independent bolt against the wall, like storage thing to stack stuff in?
I wasn't in the locker room, but there might be up in the leisure pool. There might be a little piece there.
Is that may be the
Not
next
a team
option?
room?
No,
No. I mean, we got nothing.
it's pretty straightforward, bare bones.
Yeah.
Which is great, but there are things that would be,
Yeah.
there's, you know,
That you don't have to lug around.
5/16 that practice there.
We all have to do it with our various sports as well.
It's too bad that in an event like that you couldn't put and I'll call it upstairs entrance at the top of the bleachers. Because if a meet is truly people are coming and going all the time,
They are.
the way that you've got it, everybody coming and going is coming in front of other people.
Then you'd have to make a pad on the top that's big enough.
I know everything
be-
You know, I think just like not putting the doors may be a better option. If you're just going for meet use, because from a logistic standpoint of the meet, it makes more sense for them to come through the locker rooms, walk up to the blocks, walk back down, and not even go in this, you don't want them mixing with your swimmers. You can't have them by the blocks. You can't have them by the officials. It just, they can't be there,
And,
so.
and doors there would kind of put them all on top of each other.
Oh, it would be
It puts them
horrible.
right at,
It would
puts
be
them right
about
at
as
the
bad as I
starting
can
blocks.
imagine.
It does put them at the starting blocks.
When you
So
go
hey,
this
what
way.
security
how much
Well,
money would we save
But
cutting that entrance off?
I mean,
and would that
the
help compensate for going back a couple of rows and getting the seating? Even
Probably.
if they had to come through the front end?
Probably.
That
Well,
may
and
be a
maybe you make
better
it just a
compromise.
single door.
Hey, you could use that.
Only for
vessel.
practice.
Don't
Only
make it
for
a
the
door,
team
make it a
members.
closet.
I think for
for their
practice,
stuff.
not even on meets, I wouldn't let swimmers in there during meets, but I would for practice. I would say
Yeah.
it's a great practice.
From
For
a
the
security
day-to-day
standpoint,
practice.
an extra
Yeah, and if they're wanting
entrance
to do
is
that, I think that'd be
terrible.
awesome.
It's a terrible idea for a security standpoint.
For what is?
From a
Just,
security
just
standpoint.
opening an outside,
Oh.
it's one more door to
I mean-
damage or
Harass the
get left
starters.
open.
Or somebody comes in that has bad intent.
Yeah, you think we're gonna have more people that wanna break in right into the pool?
The Provo has an outside,
pool's
just an
been
entrance
broke
just
into while I've
dedicated
been
for their pool,
closed.
and it works really well for them.
And they keep it locked all the time, other
They
when
keep
teams
it
are
locked
coming
except
in.
when they know the practicing is happening or a meet is happening. And it works
Well-
really well. I would love to model after that.
If all you needed was a little door like that, you could just use the garage doors or something.
Well, and actually, this is kind of like a similar setup to the way Provo's is. They just have more space, so
Okay.
that when people come in, they come in the hallway and go straight down.
And
the
they've got
bleachers.
they've got a room behind, they've got all that.
Right. So if we had another few feet,
Okay, well, every square foot is
Are your other
$300.
Are your other entrances manned, or just the very front one?
The front one, just the
So
front
even though
one.
you have a back entrance,
There-
it's not intended, it will be an
Not an
open
access
door.
No, it
No.
is a closed door except on game days for Mountain View, and then we will switch the opening, like a football game. We allow our patrons to come in the south, and so we're building
Cause the
that.
main
So
entrance will
so
be
oth-
by
Other
the
than
parking
this,
lot.
this door you're talking about on the pool, you only have one entrance,
Mm-hmm.
and it's kind of a manned, you've got probably security cameras on it, and you have employees working
Yes.
at the
Yes.
front desk.
Yeah, we have alarms on all of the
From a
others.
security standpoint, I'd get rid of the other door.
So,
I would-
well, I can push these onto the other folks. I can almost guarantee nothing above this will happen unless somebody else,
who do we need to talk to?
Jamie and Brent.
It's cheaper if you lose the doors, isn't it?
What's the door?
Well, I was gonna ask Jen, and she knows kind of the most about swimming, at least from what I can tell here. Would taking the door entrance stuff out and using that money to try to get 2 more rows,
I would vote for that.
would that be a better benefit
I
if we
think-
couldn't get extra money?
I think that would be.
Well, especially if the consensus is those doors really wreck the purpose that they're intended
Right.
for anyway. Maybe that, because if you get that to come in under the budget and get the extra seating, so now you're really at 350 seats.
Yep.
What's
And
the
you take this
start
concrete
times
out
for
here and
the
it's
big
just
meets
that.
that inundate the
So
Rec
the
center.
ones that are like the huge meets, they're 2-day affairs, and usually they start at like noon on a Friday and go until 9, and then they'll go Saturday from 7 in the morning until.
So is
1 or
it
2.
Saturday that it's the big issue?
Do people have to pay to
Like
go to
for
the meet?
rec center?
It depends. Some high school meets they do, but not usually, unless it's a region meet or a state meet. Yeah, and you know what? For every rec center in the whole country deals with this, and all around the state they do. And they just put big signs up that say, "Hey, the pool's closed for these days," and people just adapt.
No, I'm just mean like the
Well, the-
entrance
yeah,
and
the-
walk, you know.
And we will be better, because I think we're separated from the pools. Before, on
It was
a
like right
swim
on
meet
top of each
day,
other. And going up the
we
stairs
did-
to
the whole
thing.
place, the whole
and-
place was all
So
closed.
to that point, we talked at our last meeting about the 2 meets a year that are big are huge, and when we had the stairs, the spectator gallery upstairs, and then we had behind that there was all that kind of dead space, just hallways.
Yeah.
Those whole hallways are just filled with people.
Right.
So with this, you have the spectator seating and then nothing else.
On those big meet days,
Where
we're
do
gonna
we
have to
put
expand you into the gym and
Okay.
other places.
So I just want to make sure there's some kind
But,
of plan to
yeah,
address that.
Yeah, I mean, on a high school meet, I don't think we have to.
Most of them no.
No, I don't think
90%
so.
of the meets, I don't
But
think.
on the big ones are still gonna disrupt the place. But even that will have the front part that still works.
Right.
Let's just add a track above.
Be awesome. We can
The
watch it
pool.
from the window.
And
With
it's
a railing,
the
you can
track
lean
is
over and
closed
watch what's going
on the swim meet days.
But, somebody else is gonna need to talk to some folks, okay?
But you can go back and find out.
We
what
can
ambulance
talk,
rows and
I
what we
can,
could save, and if it
Yeah.
got back within the budget.
and I can
number.
call the architect and say, okay, what would it cost
Yeah,
us to
find
do
out.
this
Yeah.
on this?
If we just
I
did it
believe
more, or if we
I
took
believe
off the
from a city
door,
standpoint, we probably wanna keep the door.
Or add the door
Why would
on
you
the
want
north.
to?
Or
Just,
the,
just to run on triathlon days or small meet days or.
Something that you could just open the
people,
pool and
you
not
know,
open
swim
everything
team
And
else.
it's great for
practice,
practice, it really
practice
is.
in and out. From the city standpoint, we like the door.
I like it on that south side so that people are pulling into the parking lot
Yeah.
and not on the road
Yeah.
that's going
But
through.
if you simplified that door so it was a single door that could be locked, so it really was for team access or the early
I
meet.
don't think you can do a
participants.
single door that close to the water.
No,
I was
it-
just trying to figure out
This
how to
is,
save
this
money to
is,
get the rows in.
that's as small as we can do
Yeah.
on
You
the
need a
door.
vestibule.
Yeah, I agree.
But,
To get direct wind.
but pulling back, well, we're doing an 18-inch run, so we need to pull probably 40 inches. And then 18, so we need to go 4 feet by 4 feet
Yep.
and see what that would do.
Will you find out for us?
I can find out. I can find
Thank
out.
you
Is
for
that
getting
But-
this put together.
is that
This
road that
great.
goes through? Is it a single?
That's
Is
been
it
No,
my
it-
question. Is it a single or a
Because if
two-lane
it's a-
road
It's a 2-lane road with parking on one side.
with parking on one side?
See, it would work. We should put the door on that
Depends on-
northwest
It's
side.
angled.
It depends on where the
And
parking.
now that I say that, I think it's on parking on both sides.
That's huge.
It is huge.
Do we need
Is
the
it all
parkings that
city
way?
property or is it on the school property?
They have quick deeded us their property that it sits on.
We should put the door on that northwest side then. Because if they're gonna pull in, they have a place to park.
No, I think.
No,
it
they're
needs
gonna
to sit-
stop in
needs
the
to-
road.
Needs to sit on the south.
Yeah, but they're pulling into the parking lot on the south end.
Yeah, but there's only gonna be 10 or 15 spots there. That'll.
Well, and the
fill.
northwest side really isn't that great either because you only have that little walkway by the garage doors to walk through. So if you've got tons of people, it's not a great traffic aisle.
Yeah.
So that's not.
It's
a
not
situation.
As far as the road goes,
I'm just getting some concern from.
no, it is,
people.
it is two-way traffic.
Two-way.
I believe it is parking on both sides on there. And then what it is there's some bends in there and there's some traffic tables for calming devices in there so that it doesn't become a highway. We don't, as a city and a school district, we don't like speed bumps.
Right.
Because they trip snow plows. And so we're the speed tables and the.
So it goes like,
So it goes up on a table and then down on a table and then up on a table and down on a table. And then there are pinch points to where you don't feel like you can go fast because
Right.
it's tight. And then there's parking. Then there's pinch points and then there's parking.
and this was all worked out between the school district
Yeah.
or the principal and.
No, not the principal, but the
Okay,
district.
the district,
Yeah,
okay.
the parking lot
That's the
folks.
questions I've
I think the
been
parking's gonna
given.
be so much better.
But that road will be paved next week.
Awesome.
You
So
can
it's-
tell
it's
it's
through
there.
already.
You can see the
It's-
base is all up.
It won't be finished now because we're paving it now because the asphalt plant closes in 2 weeks. But they can pour cement all winter.
Yeah.
So it won't be open, but the asphalt will be
asphalt
down,
will be down.
the sidewalks won't be down.
Okay.
But the curb and gutter will be set, right?
The curb and gutter is in now.
Okay.
Yeah, the curb and gutter is in now, but everything behind the curb and gutter is, will be poured
They always
later.
leave that
Do you
first.
need approval on this?
No.
By this body, or do we need to take a
No,
motion?
I don't, this is completely informational.
Thank you.
I mean, because in the end, it's gonna be a budget decision. Over and above this, it's really out of my hands. I mean, I can deliver, but
Well, there's a track.
I've got
outside.
a whole bunch of other things I'm spending my chips on. So
You don't
somebody,
have chips in every game?
you know, I saved $90,000 yesterday in a meeting, $90,000. And it went like that this morning by 8:30.
Somebody else snapped it
So
up and
the
spent it.
question I had about money stuff is we've looked at the budget over the years of what the rec center has been losing, right? Like we're losing $100,000. Where's that $100,000 going now? We're not, since there's no rec center.
I'm losing $1 million this year. The city council and them and Jamie said we were losing 400,000 with the doors open. And they said, can you run it with losing $1 million? And so right now I'm getting paid $1 million this year while we're closed from the general fund. So it's not 400,000 that they gave me, they're giving me $1 million.
Wow.
So
That
they're not,
confused me.
bas-
Explain that
bas-
again.
You're losing 400,
He's
but
losing the
he's-
revenue.
The revenue.
basically what I did, when we were running, every dollar that the city gave me, I gave them back 90 cents. Now to cover that dime was
Yeah.
$400,000. Okay, right now,
Now
they're
they're just
giving
gonna give
me
you the 90
a
cents.
couple million, but I'm not giving them back any money.
Okay,
And so the gap that they're giving me is this.
so it's
much.
just gone back to main budget and we're not getting that in this.
It's coming to me in a bigger pile. Instead of a $400,000 pile, it's coming to my budget in $1 million.
And you have no revenue stream to pay any of that 90 cents back.
It's about that big, yep. I don't have anything to sell. What?
the treadmills, come on.
You need the pool back open.
Weights.
My
mean,
seat split on bike
I mean,
21.
I
Sew
mean,
that
for-
up,
What
I'll
about
buy
that
it.
new basketball court?
For 3 years, every position that opened up, we just didn't fill. Because I knew I was going to be carrying people now. So I am at the bare
Bare bones.
Just paying the
And the problem
employees.
was for 2 years, we were below what we needed.
Right.
But now we're about even.
You should have sold parking spaces, kept that parking lot.
Pavers.
Yeah.
So
Pavers.
monthly
Well,
parking
there will
passes.
be, right now we are soliciting major donors. We're down into people that we're talking to in the $15,000 to $20,000 range. Next spring it will come down, we will offer like $100 range, trying to grab what we can. And then in the design meeting that I just left, as you enter on the left-hand side, we saved 1,200 square feet of the old gym floor. And that's gonna go on the right-hand side, and that will be a donor wall. So the key and all that from the old fitness center will be on the right-hand side as we go in, and that'll be the donor wall.
Oh, cool.
So, save your
I
$100.
give my $100, get my name on the wall.
Anything else?
I'm in.
That's it.
Wait, no.
Oh,
Road,
we talked road.
Road, yeah.
It is a 2-lane road with parking, and if you go over there now, it's gonna be paved in the next 2
Yeah.
days.
and other
So we
business.
lose.
And then,
We lose both Chelsea and Steve in January,
yep.
even
So,
though we just elected her
We
the
let-
chairman.
Say,
I
she's-
warned you I was up.
And I told you I'd take your place, but I thought it was gonna be a year from when we put you on.
Guess what?
Guess
and
what?
so the committee needs to decide whether we just promote Skip
Yep.
to chairman.
I agree.
And then,
We're scraping the bottom of the
and
barrel.
then Dan, man, I call him Danny, because I knew him when we were both kids. Dan Miller, can be reappointed, and I'm guessing everybody's okay with him being reappointed.
And are we downsizing the?
This will get us to 7.
So then we're good.
Through
Yep.
attrition, yeah.
Yep.
And then our next meeting is scheduled January 3rd, 2nd. Do you want to move it to January 9th?
Yeah. do the
You
second.
can say yes.
Aye.
Let's do
Aye.
Are y'all good with
Can I
that?
make a motion?
And
Aye,
do
aye,
we
she
need to
made a
make a
pirate.
motion on, do we need to get a vice chair? To elect a vice chair to go with Skip?
Because I'm her vice chair, right?
That's right.
Well, let's
Well, in
get,
January, that
let's
would
get
have to
Skip
be
in,
January.
let's get Skip in January, and
Yeah.
we'll elect a vice in January.
Perfect.
So
Cool.
January
Cool.
9th?
Yeah.
Yes.
Have a fun meeting.
Hey, that's when you get to come and say
Thank you for
goodbyes
your
and shed
six-
your tears and
Thank you for
all
your
the
6 years of
experiences you've
service.
had.
Now you just keep on.
Well,
thinking.
here's
re-upping,
my one issue that I have had in 6 years. The thing we talked about from my very first meeting is that we need to fix the parking at Lakeside, and we need some lights on the soccer field, and that has never been done
And.
in the whole time.
And I have been directed since your presentation to get prices
So-
to do that.
Because the number one youth sport played is soccer, and it's the only co-sponsor group that cannot play in the dark. And you tear up your fields much more when you play them from 4 o'clock to 7 o'clock than if you can have some games at night.
Are you getting
So
pricing on lights?
I would
Every
say,
time I have priced soccer fields, it's 180,000 a field.
For to light it.
A fur field? And
Every
how many
time,
fur fields?
I've done that.
we always talked about doing 2 because it was cheaper to
Yeah.
have
I can do 2 back to back
6
for
lights.
The
probably.
parking lot
Then
like
to do.
600 grand or something?
Last time I priced it was about 900,000.
So,
and Carl's having to limit what we can do at Lakeside
Because of the.
to only 8 fields when you can really fit in.
Well, remember, one of the things that this committee did is we
Bought the house.
We bought the house.
Yeah,
I
expanded the
I
parking.
flipped the house,
We had the space
And I-
at the back.
and I don't have any money to do the next step. So,
Right, that's been 6
so
years.
Chelsea did a great job.
And
We
CARE's
bought and
gonna
sold the
help
house
with
and got
it.
the property, we just couldn't do anything
but
with it.
yeah, it's-
I just didn't have another
The rec
$1
We
million.
just keep,
$1
we just keep calling it
Yeah.
future parking,
Yes,
right?
we have put a ton of
So
money
we're-
into
now
the
we're-
rec center
we're
for 6
through-
years.
The rec center's paid through for.
We have, this committee has approved 1 more year of care.
And then CARE has how many more?
And that would have been 4 years, so we've got
Yeah,
6
6
more years of care.
So I leave it on all
Now,
of
somebody's
you
gonna be
to
coming
finish
and begging
this.
to
Yes.
this committee.
But remember, for 6 years, this has not been done.
And I will
And
agree.
the parking lot is
that-
getting smaller because they had those areas that you could park at on the east side, and now
that's
the
all
buildings are all up,
Oh,
and
we-
you can't
we
park
had
over there anymore.
We had a very generous property owner that let us park, and we had an extra 150 spots over there, but he built
It's
a building.
gone.
Yeah.
But
So-
I will agree with Chelsea, that is my next priority, and express that to her in her presentation.
I will
That's my next priority.
fight my vote
But,
somewhere. I have been giving everybody else what they want.
180,000, that's per field, but if you do it.
If
If we
you
back it to back,
So
run,
really,
be
how
less.
many sets of lights do we need?
you would need them down the middle of the 2 and on
2,
the
4,
other side.
6
So
lights,
for
right?
about,
Or is
for
it
about
Two
4?
middles would hit both fields.
yeah, for about 270, you could do 2 fields.
And there's 3 fields over there.
How much?
About
you
270, I
could
think
fit
you could do
like
2
8.
fields.
Down that.
So you could scrap
On
all of the
Lakeside.
stuff at the seating at the swim thing and light 3 fields.
There you go.
Is that what
That's a
Chelsea's
lot
saying?
more kids to
Just
play
kidding.
there.
Hey, on a positive
You,
note,
you know what? You
Karl,
have
positive.
seen my world.
hey, on a
You have
positive
seen
note-
my world.
On a positive note, since Alpine School District sanctioned lacrosse this year instead of putting it off, now the high school is forced to have to take care of all that stuff. Because there's 120
They're
Orem
doing-
kids alone that have had
Yeah,
to go scrap up stuff here and there. And
yep.
We talked about that at something. That was
And
my
I-
Alpine
last
School
city
District
council
almost put it off a
presentation
year
meeting.
because they didn't want to spend the money, and
And Nebo
We
did.
talked about that in my
Nebo
last
did.
presentation.
And now they got
Nebo put
kids,
it
they
off.
got kids from Springville, Spanish Fork, and Payson that are, had to transfer to either Temp View or Provo or Mountain View their senior year. There's like 18 kids.
Are they
that had to
playing it
transfer
in the-
just in order to play lacrosse their senior year?
Are
Which
they
is just
playing
foolish.
in the spring or the fall?
It's a fall sport.
It's a fall sport.
Excuse me. It's a spring sport, but they play club in the fall.
So are they,
I was
is
gonna
Mountain
say,
View gonna put them back in that practice field?
To practice, but their games.
Games will be
Mountain
in
View
there.
won't have a team this year because they don't have enough kids.
Oh.
So there are like 4 kids from Mountain View, and 3 of them transferred
Are they
to
all playing?
Timpanogos
You play on the
that played
football field?
before, and now that Timpanogos has
Because it used to be
turf-
club and you could just kind of all
Well, before-
combine a
yeah.
team, right?
Well,
Yeah.
they still had rules. You had to go to the school with the program nearest
Right,
your school.
right,
But now
kind of thing. Because I knew we had kids that play.
Their guidelines are, sorry, if you don't go to a school that has your sport, you have to transfer to a new school. So I'll give you an example. Cooper Young is student body officer at Orem. He's a mountain biker in the fall. He's a lacrosse player in the spring. Top 3 mountain bikers in the state. Really good. And he's a senior this year. And Orem doesn't have enough kids yet for a team. So in order for him to play
He would
his
have to
sport,
transfer.
second favorite sport to mountain biking, his senior year, he would have to transfer to Timpanogos for the last semester before he graduates, and he's a student body officer at Orem.
That is ridiculous.
It's asinine,
Well,
but that's
you-
the way-
they're
what's
serious?
UHSAA?
Yeah.
They're just ridiculous.
It's-
Did you see they
Give
wanted
me
to
his
put in
number.
that you
He
could
can live in my basement.
Did
Well,
you
he's a
see that
student
they
body officer,
wanted
though.
to
Yeah.
make it so you could transfer every single sport?
It's a club.
Transfer high schools?
Yeah, they
Like-
wanted to make that a rule that every single sport you could play one sport, football, one
Oh my
sport,
goodness,
basketball,
that
one
would be
sport,
crazy.
baseball.
Yeah, that's that.
I'm
idiot
like,
up at
that's
Summit
gonna
Academy.
help
He's the
with-
one that
yes.
sponsored. The
Like, that's gonna help
one of
a
the money
student
guys behind Summit
athlete.
Academy is the one that sponsored that thing. Luckily, it got voted down, but the way UHSAA
Rob
is now,
Cuff,
you have
pull
to attend
it
the school
together.
for the sport.
Yeah,
So, yeah,
Rob.
it's super sad.
Well,
What's
But
this
it's
Alpine's
sanctioned,
gonna have to
so
take
there's
care of
nobody
more
gonna come
fields?
clamoring for
Which
the
fields?
city to take care of such and such.
no, I appreciate this committee, the 4 million that we've put toward the fitness center is making this happen. I mean, it was great. I expect I'll come on bended knee at some point for a little more, so,
More than likely.
okay.